Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to my channel. So for this time, it's my pleasure to be interviewed by my cousin, of course. And I just hope that it will help her studies on this new normal and while they are having their modular or what we call online classes or blended learning approach. So let's get it started.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity for interviewing you. Before everything, let me introduce myself. I am Lloyd Angie Kakay, a grade 12 student of Paniki High School.
So as I was saying, she is my cousin. My mother and her father, they are siblings. She is Lloyd Angie Kakay, a grade 12 student, a senior high school student from Paniki High School actually. Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Thank you also for having this opportunity to be interviewed by you, and I just hope that I will answer your questions and it will help your studies, of course.
First, what is your name?
Alright. So, well, my friends would call me as Terence or Jean, or my students would call me as Sir Fernando or Mr. Fernando, but my complete name is Chinrose Kakay Fernando or Chinrose Fernando. So yeah, it sounds like a girl, but my name was it was named by my grandfather actually, but he passed away already.
How old are you, sir?
Well, I guess that's one of the toughest questions. How old am I? Well, I was born on 4th of January 1987, so it's definitely I am 33 and I will be turning 34 this 21st of the same month. That's January.
What is your profession?
My profession. I would say that my profession is the noblest profession. You know what it is. So it's teaching. I'm in the DepEd of Quezon City here in Metro Manila. And I chose this because I want to mold the minds of my students, my pupils. It wasn't that very easy task, I guess. Easy profession. Since this is one of the noblest professions, then this is one of the challenging professions, I would say.
Years of teaching.
Years of teaching. Well, technically, I've been out for 10 years, but I had my first position as a regular permanent teacher in Rasa Susano Novaliches Elementary School. That's still one of the schools here in Quezon City, elementary schools. And I resigned, so I got my first job in 2008, but I just stayed there for 5 years because I had to do missionary work, which is in the Western Visayas, specifically in Bacolod, in Philippines Bacolod Mission. Then, so I stayed there for 2 consecutive years. And after that, I reapplied for my position when I successfully finished my ministry there. In 2015, I reapplied and I got my job again. So in 2015 up to now, that is again another 5 years. So technically, it's now on my 10th years of service in the DepEd.
What did you do since COVID-19 outbreak?
Well, I had a lot of tasks and activities that I did during this COVID-19 outbreak, but one of the important things that I will remember, if my memory won't fail me, was that when we were in our hometown, that is in Bagabag province of Nueva Vizcaya. That's in March, April, and May. So we stayed there for 3 consecutive months, and our vacation turned to something like quarantine days. So because it wasn't easy to travel back here in Quezon City before, so we stayed there for 3 months. And yeah, I think I would say that it has a positive effect with what I did, especially with bonding with my family, with my friends. Yeah, we fixed some things in our house, and I planted some ornamental plants, and it was great. It was amazing. And another was I had the opportunity to have my online colloquium, which is in my with regards to my thesis. So I fixed that, and I had a constant communication with my thesis advisor. Hello, Dr. Arieta. Thank you so much. And yeah, with my panelists, so Dr. Ancho, Dr. Marisigan, Dr. Arieta. Hey, did I forget someone? And Sir Nathan. Yeah, thank you for assisting me with my colloquium defense. So now I am on my second part of my thesis. There wasn't any day that I became so idle, so I've been very productive during those days.
Your inspirational message during this pandemic.
My inspirational message during this pandemic outbreak. Let me consult that with my journal. I have read my journal actually. And a week ago we had this conference, and it was 190th semi-annual general conference of our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And one of the general authorities that admonished us, of course, was our living prophet in the name of President Russell M. Nelson. So we believe that he is our living prophet, and one of his admonitions about the concept of Israel, that God prevail. So this is not actually an inspirational message, but this is something that stood me out during our conference, which I attended virtually. And he had just said that just to let God prevail in your life. It is very simple. Choose to let God prevail in your life. Sometimes we take for granted about this admonition because during this pandemic we always thought about why this pandemic is happening to us, but why, I mean, is God punishing us? Or like other people would say, is this the end? But with this admonition, it came to my mind and became clear that when we prevail, when we choose to let God prevail in our lives, then we will understand why these scenarios are happening in our lives. So if we let God prevail in our lives, then we will understand the essence of our lives. So that's one thing that some of us forgotten about this concept. We always have to think about what is essential, not just because we are living in this mortal world. That's the most important thing. And that I have this, I internalize it to myself. Plea unto Him is that He will strengthen us, and He will strengthen our families, and we know how to best frame ourselves in this pandemic. I know that Heavenly Father is our loving Heavenly Father, and with Jesus Christ's sacrifices, then we would have that assurance again that this pandemic, it will be smooth to all of us as we handle it properly. Okay. Prevailing God means being subjective unto His will.
Thank you, sir, and have a nice day.
Alright, so I think that's the end. So thank you so much. Thank you also, and I just hope that it did help you a lot. So stay safe and God bless.